Good morning and welcome to another Moving Diaries vlog. A lot of time has passed since the last vlog. All that stuff I was saying about how I really didn't want to feel rushed and I really wanted to get everything done ahead of time. Safe to say, it didn't happen that way. Just had a really busy few weeks with I have done some little bits and pieces. I've been filming a lot of declutters, which obviously will ultimately help with the move. But it was my birthday, we went to Disneyland. The day we got back from Disneyland, one of my best friends who I went to Disneyland with got into a car crash. So I was helping with that where I could, and I had a lot of personal family stuff going on. Honestly, it just hasn't happened, but it is what it is. And we now have just under 2 weeks until we're moving all of our stuff out. So I'm on a massive declutter mission. If you follow me on Instagram and TikTok, you probably will have seen me going absolutely feral decluttering all my makeup over the last few weeks. What I'm currently doing is cleaning all my makeup brushes, which has taken honestly so much longer than I thought. I thought that would be a one evening job. This is day 4 of decluttering my makeup. It's been insane. I'm not going to show much of that in this video just because I have literally already documented it all. But if you want to see what that was all about, go and watch the TikToks. But I am finally nearly done. I've just got brushes and palettes left to go. Although brushes has taken me nearly 3 hours on their own. In terms of the flat selling process, at the moment, oh my god, right. Because this flat is in a building that is owned by a management company, basically the buyer has to send through a load of queries about different things to do with the flat, and the legal stuff surrounding the flat, and regulations and health and safety and things like that. Some of the queries I could answer, so I did that straight away, and some of the queries had to go through to the management company, and the management company have taken actual weeks to get back. And I've been calling and they kept saying, that's not my department, you need to speak to someone else. It has been going on for weeks and weeks, and eventually I called and had to be a bit of a Karen. I hate doing it, but I tried everything else, and I was like, sorry, right, my camera died. I've just realised that Charlie's just started hoovering. We'll wait. So what I was saying was, so I called them and I had to be listen, I'm actually not getting off the phone now until I have been put through to someone who can answer these queries, because this has gone on for too long. It's the only thing holding up the sale. Please, I'm begging. But all this time I hadn't actually seen the queries that were holding it up, because I'd obviously just focused on my own queries. The solicitor had sent the other queries on to the management company, and I was CC'd into that email, but I was like, well, I can't answer those questions, so it's got nothing to do with me. So I hadn't read them. I had enough stuff to get on with. Anyway, so there were some of the departments had come back and answered their questions, but there were 2 outstanding questions. And I went, and someone on the phone said to me, okay, what actually are the questions? Because I said I keep getting passed around. So I got the email up and I looked at the questions, and they were both about a sprinkler system. Bearing in mind, they'd been passed on to health and safety and the fire safety department and all sorts of different departments. And I went, hang on. I've actually never seen a sprinkler in this building. Are there any sprinklers? And he went, oh, that's a really good question actually. Hold on, put me on hold. Came back and went, no, there aren't any sprinklers. And I was like, right, so is that what the hold up is? Because no one thinks the sprinklers are their job, but it's because there are no sprinklers, and basically we'd literally been waiting about 3 weeks. We'd been waiting longer than that, but it had been 3 weeks since the rest of the questions had been answered, to hear back about these sprinklers, and everyone was saying it's not my job. There were no sprinklers. But anyway, the questions have now been sorted, and myself and the buyer have kind of agreed on a timeline, and that timeline involves me having moved everything out of this property in less than 2 weeks. So we're kind of in full swing. I've got Abby coming over in a bit. She's so good at giving me a kick up the arse, so I'm hoping she's gonna be able to help me do a little bit of packing. And also the other priority that I need to kind of start thinking a lot more about is the food that we've got in the house, because obviously van space effectively costs money, and I don't want to have to pay to transport food across from London to Norwich. Also if it's fridge or freezer food, that's quite a long drive. So basically we need to try and base our meals around what is in the house for the next couple of weeks. So that's going to take a level of organisation for the food shop that I do not usually possess, but we're going to find it somewhere deep within. What can I pack? Okay, Abigail's here to help me, which is good because I feel like I'm drowning. Oh, Charlie, before we start, could you just come and have a look at this bookshelf? Tell me if there's anything you want that you are particularly, you need to keep. This is the book you're reading.
Are you enamoured by anything in particular here?
The
Yes.
List of Suspicious Things. You love this book,
I
don't
love
you?
that book.
List of suspicious things?
I want to read it when he finishes it. It sounds
It's
really
all
good.
about the Yorkshire Ripper.
Ah.
It sounds really good. I want to read it.
And
Come in.
for a bit of context, my mum,
Hello.
hello, my mum lived around the corner from the Yorkshire Ripper when she was younger,
Oh my god.
and she only
Scary.
found that out like 20 years ago. But she was a bit like,
That's
what the hell?
concerning,
Like
by the
living
way.
so close to.
You want to keep this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The boy, the what? The
The
boy?
Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse. This is one of those books that's like,
It's like Winnie
you
the
know, it has
Pooh.
all of those, yeah, sort of, little
Cute.
sort of illustrations and life lessons and things.
Yeah. It's got literally. Is it like? I was gonna say, is the illustrator the same? It literally looks like.
Yeah,
that
Charlie
like
Mackey.
sticky-
It does look like Winnie the Pooh, doesn't it? But I don't think it actually is.
No.
It's lovely though. Right.
Now, Mary Berry.
So, we're decluttering the bookshelf, but I've also just got like every book in the whole house and brought it in here. But I need to make this box up.
With a whole bag.
I've got so many. Yeah, and also like I have actually already decluttered my books. Not sufficiently enough.
Not thoroughly enough.
Okay, right. Abby,
Yeah,
could you hold that?
Yes. Consider it held.
How many girls does it take to build a box?
And then Mary Berry can be pride of place at the bottom of the box.
I don't know, will I use Mary Berry?
This is the thing. Do you bake
No.
desserts?
The thing is, if I do bake, I Google.
Yeah, I Google. I find them on
Yeah.
Pinterest or TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. I actual recipe books, I very, very rarely use. Like, I think
Are you doing another layer, aren't you?
I'll do them alongside it. Certain ones I will keep if they're like sort of pretty for the sake of like for show.
Coffee table for.
Yeah. But I think a lot of them I probably should stop holding on to.
Yeah.
Okay, right, let me get
Are
those
you
three
gonna
that
bin her
Charlie's
off?
keeping. I think I might have to bin her off. Sorry, Mary.
She's crying into her scone right now.
Yeah.
Where are you gonna have a discard pile?
Yeah. I'm gonna put them all on. There's like an app. It used to be called Zifit. It's called something else now. Where you can scan them in and you get like a bit of money for them, and you can just put them in an impost locker.
25 British
I know.
pounds.
Jess bought me this. These are my musical theatre nerd books. Jess bought me this for my birthday this year. Musical theatre, script and song analysis through the ages, and that sounds right up my
feel it?
street. Yeah.
Oh, that feels really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, flimsy. Sorry.
I'm excited to have in my new office, again, wherever and whenever that may be.
Yes.
I'm so excited to have like shelves of like my nerdy books that I love. This is Bonnie and Clyde.
That's really cool.
I love this. I think Jess bought me this as well.
I think
She
she
did.
might have bought one
Yeah.
for her birthday.
I've got this Defying Gravity book. This is my first ever nerdy theatre book.
Oh my god. Oh, here he is.
Yes.
Wait.
So this is about the guy that wrote Wicked.
Oh. An
Should I
interesting
keep-
man.
This one with the Wicked ones in case I want it in the background of my Wicked video.
It might be of interest.
Yeah, okay. And I've got this Olivier Awards programme. I wasn't actually at the Olivier Awards, they just sent me a programme. Should I keep it?
Would you ever think, oh god, I wonder what happened at the Olivier Awards in 2025?
Not really, no. From the side it doesn't really give
MasterCard
anything.
branding.
Yeah. I think I'll get rid.
It is quite cool though.
Yeah,
Like,
it is
if
cool.
you went to one, it'd be like,
If I went,
went
I'd keep
to
it, but I
this.
didn't go. This Moonwalkers thing that I went to with Jess, it was cool, but I don't need to keep it.
That's fair. Oh, sorry, you've got one of the 3 books, right?
Yeah, Slay. And then
This is sick.
this is really cool. I think this is another one that Jess bought me.
It's
Possibly.
really cool. I like just the front as well looks so
Yeah,
sick.
it's got all the old Playbill designs and like a bit about the shows and stuff.
I like that.
100 years of Broadway show stories and stars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, keep.
Rewitched by Sunday Best Times. So no, Sunday Times best-selling author Lucy Jane Wood.
Yes. Mike Wade.
Fantastic book.
Yeah, very good. Maybe you should read the other one that's coming out this year.
Yeah. The Disney Parks cookbook. How cute is
Oh,
this? I've never
that's
actually cooked
cool.
anything from here, but I would like to at some point for a bit of fun.
Is it like Disney themed?
Some of it, like some of it's the food, so it's all food that you can find in the park somewhere.
Right.
It's just
whole
a cute,
host
a cute one to have.
You can put that on
This
like.
Biscoff one I probably don't need to keep.
No. Okay, that is something that you could Google.
Yeah,
I want to
exactly.
make a Biscoff cake.
Yeah, I agree.
Someone will show you a nice one. TikTok.
Okay, so then we've got this bag. This is a coffee table book that Kate Spade sent me. You have one of these?
I have it at home, yeah.
Yeah. I've never actually read it.
No, me neither.
But-
It's exactly that though, a coffee table book. No
What is it
other
actually
reason.
about? Ultimate Guide to Celebrations. Oh, okay. It's like hosting tips. A bit like, you know, the Tanya Burr book?
Oh my god.
Well, it does
Or
Zoella
design.
book.
Yeah.
You're hosting an open house. You want a reason to see everyone. Nothing fancy. This is my Book of Mormon script.
Oh, script.
I can say.
Fantastic.
This
yes.
is a DVD of a show I was in at school.
I love that. Yes.
This is
Fantastic. Well, I'd like to watch that at some point.
my Sound of Music script.
That's kind of cool.
I was an absolute criminal when I was younger for being in shows, and then these are supposed to be loans, and I would go, I've lost it, but it was
Yeah.
literally just because I didn't want to give it back.
Yes.
I'd gotten too attached.
What would you like to keep that?
So I've got The Sound of Music, I've got Pippin, I've got
Oh, Justin, what are you doing here?
this can go in like a keepsakes box. I
was
think.
gonna
I think
say.
this box is separate.
Yeah.
I actually am not sure if I need to keep these now. I know.
Are you ready to give them up? I think you should give them back to your school. Because I found them.
I found them.
That's quite cool though. Would you ever use them though? Would you ever want them? If there's like a potential, just like keep them.
I don't
But also-
know. Like, I use weird stuff for content sometimes.
Yeah.
So like, maybe, but also I've never used them so far.
Yeah. Are you gonna, what's this one again? The
This is
Sound
The
of
Sound of
Music.
Music.
I've never actually seen that, by the way.
Have you not? Oh, it's a classic.
No.
I like this. I'll keep that one because it's a proper book, but this
Yeah.
one's like,
Notebook.
doesn't look pretty from the side, so
No.
I will get rid of Pippin.
Yes. Oh, by Pippin.
By Pippin. That was also written by the same man as Wicked.
Oh my god.
Oh,
What is it?
it's a photo book that I made of our 24-hour trip to Milan. It wasn't even 24
that's
hours. We were in
sick.
Milan for like 8 hours.
Yeah, even if that.
Look.
We got in at like 9 a.m.
Jazz put, can't believe we're nipping to Milan today. And you put, just for lunch.
Yeah. We just got pizza. We literally got pizza.
Here we are, we're on the plane
Oh my god.
in Milan. I said these
That
are the
was
two
so
genders,
fun.
men and women holding balloons.
Yes, specifically women with balloons. Oh look. These are so
It's
sick.
cute, isn't it? I should make more of these books. I really like
We
them.
should. We should do one. We should do one for New York.
Oh, well, we still could.
Yeah, true. These are so cute. Oh my god. We should do a lap to Milan again, guys.
This picture very. I want to keep these three.
Yeah.
They're actually notebooks, but they are
Oh, okay.
made to look like the cassette tapes of
That's
Disney
so
movies.
sick.
So I've got The Little Mermaid, Aladdin, and Peter Pan.
They're really cool.
Three of my faves.
You just find them up, they look like DVDs. Like when
yeah.
you finish them, they still
And
look good.
just like on an office shelf or whatever. I just think they look cute.
Yeah.
So keeping those. The thing is, right?
Yeah. Tell us.
I would love to read these books,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't think I will.
And the thing is, if you want to, Kindles are free.
That's the
And you'd be
thing.
able to get
I
these
mean,
again.
they're not free.
Well, no, but like, no, that's true. No, but like the
They
books on there.
exist.
But the books on there sometimes
Sometimes
are
they're
free.
free, or they're like 99p, aren't they?
Yeah.
But like,
Some of these would be as well.
I just think certain ones I would like to read. I'd really like to read Big Little Lies. I remember everyone saying that was really good at the time.
Yeah.
And I would like to read The Twyford Code.
Mhm.
I feel like those
A definite one
would be good.
Keeps.
They're things I would enjoy. I'd like to read Becoming Molly May. I just think she's fascinating.
You want to know what she does for her 24 hours?
Yeah.
And same.
And this is my favourite play.
The Crucible. Oh my god, that's ancient.
Old. It's another one I stole from school. Sorry, school, if you're watching.
Yes, your school is watching.
Yeah.
On a flat screen TV.
They're going to come after me.
That's
so I'm gonna
so
keep it on.
ancient.
It's so old, it's like, I'm worried it's going to fall apart.
Yeah.
But it's my favourite play.
I've never seen The Crucible either. That came in, it was on the West End briefly, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was for a
Obviously.
little while.
Keeping Your Twilight.
I'll definitely, obviously, of course I will. Don't be ridiculous.
Sorry.
I'm going to keep my Twilight. Look how battered this is.
How many times have you read that?
I read nothing but this for about 5 years. I literally just did this in rotation and then would stop and start again. And I would literally, like, people would say to me, are you free after school? Do you want to hang out? And I'd be like, oh, sorry, I'm so busy.
Reading Twilight for the 17th time. Slay. I've only read it once.
Oh, fair enough.
Read it once. Oh my god, what's happened to Eclipse?
Oh, Eclipse was my favourite.
Was it?
I think New Moon and Breaking Dawn might have, like, broken and been repurchased.
Oh, okay.
But Eclipse, I think, is my original copy.
Breaking Dawn looks nearly new. Yeah,
Look how gross that is.
it looks like Harry Potter's books that it's just been like tossing around. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, especially like the corners.
Yeah,
like
this is well worn. This has been in my school bag.
Yeah.
That's what's happened there.
Yeah.
I'm going to allow myself to buy a Kindle, I think, when we move.
Yeah.
I've been telling myself I'm not allowed to because I need to read all of these books first.
Yeah.
But the thing is, some of these books I bought like so long ago.
Just put it in flat that way.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not really even interested in them anymore, you know?
Yeah. Well, that's empty.
It's a shame because like some of these books are lovely, but I just don't need them, do I?
How to Find Love in a Bookshop.
Yeah, and I've also got like The Diary of a Bookseller.
Aww.
So many books are written about people who work in bookshops, which like makes sense, but it's funny, isn't it?
Yeah. Do you want to now take this up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we're taping a box, guys. We're taping a box.
First box. No, it's probably not. I think the first box.
It's the first one that's been like sealed, yeah.
Oh yeah, you're not going to need this again.
No, till we move into our new house.
Are you going to want to read Twilight before you leave?
No, I think that's
Are
okay.
you sure?
Yeah.
Huzzah.
I think I just attached a piece of my own hair to it.
Well, at least then you'll know it's yours.
Yeah, I'm going to write books on it.
Books and a hair.
Books and one
singular strand.
Books and one hair.
Yeah.
Right. Well, there's a box.
Here's a box with many things in it, including Twilight.
And then these ones, I need to scan into my app and see if they'll take them and how much money they'll give me for them.
I think you could get a decent amount from this.
Yeah, quite possibly.
They don't really. Do you have to do like condition as well? Like what condition they're
You can't send them to them if they're like broken, but they would take like things that have been read like that. They're
Yeah.
fine. Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, bookshelf tick.
Destination 1 complete. Books. That's fantastic.
I have been watching this YouTube video this morning. It's really good. I like George and Teresa's YouTube videos. I like video essays, but this one about catfish. It's very interesting. Not that any of you asked for a recommendation, but there it is if you want one. I'm just doing my makeup for a day of filming declutters. I'm like bulk filming them so that I can get on with the packing and it doesn't disrupt the series, because I really want to finish the declutter wheel. Like, it's a project I've been working on for 2 years. But also I don't want to say I'm moving in case it all falls through and I don't want to jinx it and blah blah blah. So I'm like bulk filming them at the moment so that I can quickly post them all before the move. And I'm filming a lot of them out of order as well. So I'm cheating on the wheel slightly and filming some of them before it actually comes up on the wheel, just so I can hold on to the footage and then use it when it does come up, just because, yeah, I really want to finish this series. It's something I've been working on for so long and I know so many of you guys really enjoy it. But obviously as soon as I move out of here, well, first of all, I don't want to take any clutter with me that I'm not going to keep, but also everything's going to be in a different place. So even if I carried on with the declutter wheel, I'd have to change absolutely everything on it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a series on TikTok where every single cupboard and drawer in my flat is on like a wheel, and I spin the wheel and then declutter whatever comes up. So yeah, the plan for today is to chase my estate agent and my solicitor and film a load of declutters. I'm hoping to do like 4 or 5, including, you know, the other day when I was decluttering the bookshelf and stuff with Abby, we ended up doing so much from that side of the room. It was so helpful. But the only space down that side of the room that hasn't been decluttered now is one of my lockers. And so it hasn't come up on the wheel yet, but I'm just going to film it today and hold on to it so that I can like have that side of the room done. I'm someone who really works in like sweeping motions. When I tidy my bedroom, I always start in one corner and then like work my way around, and I just find that to be the most helpful. I think it's because you get like a little dopamine hit every time a little area is finished, and it kind of keeps me going. But anyway, oh my god, I need to tell you about the other night. I feel like I've got so many things in my brain at the minute. Moving is hard enough, but then also trying to film all of that process is actually like very difficult, especially when it's for like multiple platforms, and like I want it all to be genuine. I don't want to like stage any of it, so it means everything takes genuinely twice as long. But and it's also meaning that because I feel like my brain's too full, I keep making silly mistakes, forgetting things, like, oh my god. So the other night, I've sold loads of my clothes on Vinted, right? Because obviously I've been decluttering, I'm moving out, blah blah blah. I'm not going to have a lot of space for clothes storage where we're going immediately, so I am keeping some stuff that's not staying with us. A lot of it I'm just going to get rid of, because to be honest, I feel like my personal style has changed quite a lot lately. I don't know if it's since I've hit my late 20s, like I feel like a lot of the clothes I was wearing are like too young for me, I think. So I need, it's time to change up my style a bit anyway, so I'm going to take this as a bit of an opportunity. I'm sort of seeing the whole move as like a bit of a way to change a lot of stuff about my life that I'm not very happy with, to be honest. I'm sure I'll go into more detail on that at some point in the future. So I'm selling loads of clothes on Vinted at the moment. By the time this goes up, they'll have already gone, I think. But basically, the other night I asked Charlie if he would come with me to the info sockets, which he's always happy to do, particularly because I tend to go quite late at night just because of the parking restrictions on the road. It just makes it way easier. I think the parking restrictions end at 9, but so like we sort of tend to go like after dinner and like after everything. So anyway, it was 10:30 for this story. This story begins at 10:30 p.m. and Charlie had had an exam earlier that day, which he passed with flying colours, which was fantastic. But so it had been a long day, he was pretty tired, but he'd agreed to come to the info sockets with me. So we go down to the car, and an important thing to note about my building is that from the car park there are 2 fobbed doors, one that lets you from the car park into the building and one that lets you from the rest of the building into my specific corridor, which just has 3 flats on it. And then there's another set of doors which takes you to like the bins. We'd done a bin run earlier and then come back up, faffed about for a bit, and then we were about to take the Vinted stuff. And it was a lot, like they were big heavy boxes, so we were kind of struggling to get it all down there in the first place. So then we get it downstairs and I go to unlock my car to put the boxes in, and my car key has run out of battery. So I was like, okay, no worries, this is fine. I know like it's got like a little manual key inside it, so I'll get that out and I'm sure like I'll be able to start the car with that somehow, and I'll figure out the battery issue later. So I get the key out of the key, if you know what I mean, like the manual key out from the like battery powered key. I also think it's important to note that in my head car keys are not battery powered, they just sort of work, which I'm aware is silly, okay? And there had actually been a couple of times where I'd had to push my key a couple of times to get the car to unlock, but I don't know, I just thought like, oh, maybe there's no signal down here. I was being stupid. But the car park's underground, so there's like no signal. I don't know why I thought the car key was using signal. I just wasn't thinking, right? So I unlocked the driver's door with the manual key, and I was like, God, I'm a genius. So I can now open the driver's side door, but the car alarm is going off and all the lights are flashing. Sorry, I just moved you so I can have better light to do my makeup. And right, so the car alarm's going off, and I'm like, okay, that's no problem. Bearing in mind, it is 10:30 at night, and we live in like an area with a lot of flats. So I was like, okay, I need to get this off. My car, you don't put the key into it for it to start. It like detects that the key is in the car, and then you start the car and it just goes. But obviously it wasn't doing that because the key was out of battery. So we then start rummaging around in the car, trying to find like a little secret bit where I might be able to plug the car in. It says that if you like hold the key to a certain bit, it can do it by Bluetooth or something, and then it should work, but it doesn't. Charlie's trying to problem solve it by like poking around in the car. I'm more of a Google girl. So I'm saying we need to leave the car park, Google it, and then come back like really quickly. Meanwhile, Charlie's saying like, did you not realise your car key was running out of battery? And I was going, well, sort of, yeah, but what use is that now, kind of thing. So we're like bickering, the car alarm's going off, blah blah blah. We can't get the car to start. So we put all the boxes onto the seats, because I don't want to carry all the boxes of vintage stuff all the way back upstairs if we're then hopefully just going to Google how the car works and then come straight back down. So we're like, right, okay, need to go upstairs. So we start walking towards like the door from the car park into the building. At this point, we look down at the keys in my hand and realise that there is no fob attached to the keys. So we are now stuck in the car park with the car alarm going off and no way to start the car. And how do these things all happen at once? So at this point we're bickering even more. Charlie's saying to me, why on earth did you bring your key without the fob? And I'm saying, I obviously didn't do that on purpose. And then basically it turns out that when we'd been to the bins earlier, he had connected my house keys to the bin key without telling me he'd done that and without taking it off at the end. So then as we were leaving the house, I had grabbed my keys out of the bowl, and obviously they had somehow detached themselves from the bin key. I didn't think it was an issue because I didn't realise they were meant to be attached in the first place. So I think the fault there is probably shared, right? But at the time we were both adamant that it was the other person's fault. So again, we're bickering, but we're stuck in the car park. It's 10:30 at night, the car alarm is going off. We then go back to the car just to double check that the fob hadn't like fallen out or something. And in that time, we saw a man leave through the door that we needed to go through and get in his car. So I then walk up to this man's car, but his car hadn't started yet, so I was like, right, I can still speak to him. So I walked up to the side of the car, made him absolutely jump out of his skin, and said to him, I'm really sorry, would you possibly be able to open that door for me? Bearing in mind, I don't know this man, like I barely know any of my neighbours. I was like, would you be able to open this door for me? You can see my house key here, I live in this building, but my fob has detached from my house key. I really need to go in. Also, on an unrelated note, that's my car alarm going off, so don't worry about that either, and I'm definitely not trying to break into anything. He sort of looked at me like I was a bit weird, but ultimately, like, I did have the house key that is the house key from this building. So he was like, right, okay. So he let me in, well, both of us in, which was very helpful. So we were like, okay, problem solved. Right, we need to get upstairs and then Google how to sort the car out. At this point, also, my phone was on 3%. Because I normally charge, when we go out in the car, I charge my phone in the car. So I'd let it, like, run down, not on purpose, but, like, I just hadn't thought about it. Because I was like, oh, it doesn't matter, like I'll charge it when we go out to do the vintage stuff. So my phone was on 3%, so I could barely Google anything. So I was like, right, let's just get to the house. I'll quickly plug my phone in and we'll have a Google and then, you know, blah, blah, blah. We get up to the floor that we live on and we remember there is another fobbed door and there are only 3 flats behind it. And we do vaguely know both of those sets of neighbours. So I was like, right, I know it's late, but the longer we wait, the worse it gets, like the later it gets. So I was like, I'm just gonna ring one of their doorbells and hope that they will answer it and open the door for us. So I rang it, they didn't answer. I rang the other neighbour, they didn't answer either. And then I rang the first one again and they had turned off their intercom. So it wouldn't ring at all. So it was like, right, okay, which is like, completely fair enough, obviously, like you're getting like a cold call to your door at 10:30 at night. And also that door doesn't have a camera. The ones downstairs have cameras so you can see who it is that's ringing the door, but this one doesn't. So anyone that's supposed to be coming to your house, you usually know what they look like from the first time they ring a buzzer, and there are 3 that they have to ring. In fairness, if my intercom had started ringing at 10:30 at night with no context, and I knew that they were on this floor, they weren't even like downstairs by the front door, I also would not have answered that. So I wasn't annoyed with them. It was just like, okay, we had to try it, but it is what it is. By this point, my phone is dead. I had been Googling stuff to do with the car key and I'd come up with absolutely 0 useful solutions. But my phone is now out of the running officially, RIP. So Charlie is a part of the like WhatsApp group for the building. So he then put a message in the WhatsApp group being like, does anyone know, does anyone in here live in our corridor for starters, but also does anyone know of like what we should do in this situation? And then he calls the building management company to see if they can get someone to come out and just open that door for us. They said they can, but it will take 4 hours, meaning we'd be there till 2:30. But I was like, okay, we'll go forward with that, because, and Charlie tried to say like, oh, don't bother, and I was like, no, like we still need that as an option, just in case we can't figure anything else out. At that point, half the building descended on us in the lift. They were coming from all floors going, try my fob, try my fob, try my fob. I was mortified. It was 10:30 at night. Everyone was in their pajamas trying to be really helpful, but nothing was working. And like, they were all lovely and like so nice of them to try and come to the rescue, you know, but it was becoming clear that like the only fobs that would work, there are only 6 of them, like 2 for each flat, and they were all inside this part of the building. So I was losing hope. I was considering, because I'd spoken to like my group chat when I'd said, guys, listen, I can't believe I've done this, can you all help me and quickly Google this car situation, because my phone is going to die. So, you know, like more people on it as quickly as possible, the higher chance we have of fixing it, kind of thing. And they were all fantastic, obviously, but there just was no solution to it. Like, my friendship group is entirely made up of oldest daughters and one only child, but she very much gives eldest sibling energy. One thing about us, if there is a problem, we will solve it. At this point, I said to Charlie, like, it might be worth texting Jess and seeing if she could bring like a phone charger and a blanket or something. By the way, I could hear the car alarm going off this whole time. So that was the other thing. There were all these people on the corridor and we were going, oh, and that car alarm, yeah, sorry, that is ours as well. Having a really bad day kind of thing. It was so embarrassing, honestly. Anyway, one of the women from the building then said to me, oh, I actually know the woman who lives in the flat below you. Let's see if her fob will work. And at this point I was thinking, I don't think it will, because none of the other fobs are working, but like also I do really appreciate the help, obviously. So she was like, come with me. So then we went and knocked on this woman's door, and she came out in her pajamas and her dressing gown, and again I just felt awful, but she agreed to let us try her fob. So then we came back up the stairs, by which point Charlie and one of the men, or I think maybe 2 of the men, had somehow managed to get the door open. I don't really know what they did. The door isn't broken, but like, I mean, it was something to do with a magnet. I don't really know the ins and outs, but hey, the door was open, so that was good. So I sat down on the sofa and was like, oh, thank God for that. And then I went, oh my God, the car, because obviously that was the issue in the first place. But it had been so sidetracked by the fact that like we thought we wouldn't be able to get into our house again until 2 AM. So then I'm Googling where I can get the right battery for my car key. My dad later tells me that actually I'm changing the battery on a car key might not even fix the car key, because you might have to get it like reprogrammed or something. But as we know, I'm not an expert in car keys, so I was just trying to find a battery for it. I was rummaging through my drawers, Jess was rummaging through her drawers, Maria was rummaging through her drawers. None of us had the right battery. I start Googling like where I might be able to buy it, and I can get it on Amazon Prime, but then it won't arrive till the next day, and I'm really worried that my car battery is going to go flat. In the end, I ordered a battery on Deliveroo. The minimum spend was £30, so I ended up spending a tenner on a battery and £20 on some cat litter. So we changed the battery in the car key once that arrived. It all worked fine. We did the vintage stuff. and I think we ended up getting home at just gone midnight, so the whole ordeal took about an hour and a half, which is much better than 4 hours. So, you know, but I just feel like that really summarises how things are going for me at the minute. Everything is taking longer than it should, and I keep making stupid mistakes. I also got my hair cut the other day, and it has literally never been healthier. Like, it feels so thick, but it was so much shorter than I wanted it to be, so I'm a bit annoyed. And also I feel like this side is actually slightly shorter than this side. Maybe I just like sit lopsided. No, I don't think, I mean I probably do, but I don't think that's the issue. In my nail kit, I don't know which cat this is. Oh, it's Eliza. Hi Eliza. Oh, you're such a big girl nowadays. Are you looking forward to becoming a countryside cat? She says I don't really care as long as they're still dreamies. Actually, instead of dreamies lately, we've been feeding them these like freeze-dried fish bites. They go absolutely feral for them. I've actually just done the world's longest declutter. I was doing this cupboard, the snack cupboard. And I did actually do quite a good job of it. Between that cupboard and also the like pantry cupboard that I did the other day, I've now got loads of like non-perishable foods that I want to donate. So I need to try and find a plastic bag. Here we go. The place where we're moving temporarily, the kitchen is quite a lot smaller than the kitchen that we're used to. So I don't want to just arrive with like loads of old food and stuff that we're never even going to get through, because I just think it will make the space feel really like cramped and crowded before we've even started. Anything that is sealed and can be used by someone else, I'm going to put in the like Sainsbury's donation bit, because I'd much rather someone that actually got like good use out of it, you know. So I'm going to pop this by the front door so I can take it next time I go to Sainsbury's. These are all the boxes that Abby and I did. So that was all from that side of the room, which is now looking really weirdly bare. And I've got my piano all bubble wrapped up, because we've got a van coming to collect that separately this weekend. Right, I took those bits down and I just got myself one of these for lunch. I'm having a real like hyperfixation on it. It is the wasabi sweet chili chicken with rice. I get really funny about meal deals sometimes. I go through phases where I love them and then phases where they really give me the ick. And at the minute, I really fancy hot lunches, which is weird because it's hot outside. But this is like my go-to at the moment. Here we go. It doesn't look that appetizing, to be honest, but it even comes with this like cardboard bento box thing. So no washing up apart from the spoon, which is a bonus if you ask me. I'm just about to film a makeup declutter, but I feel bad because I had to get the wipes out of the bag where I keep the cat food, and both the cats went crazy, so now they're having dreamies. Okay, Ethne, because we've run out of the fish things I was talking about earlier. Hi, Eliza. Ethne, do you want one? Ow, claws away. One for you, Eliza. One more, last one. Ow. No claws, Nini. Last one. Last one. Eliza's a lot more gentle. Eponine is feral. Put your claws away. Come for a cuddle and stop being so scrappy. She always puts her paw on my mouth as if to say, shut up. Anyway, yeah, I'm about to film another declutter number, I think it's 3 today. And I'm hoping to do one more as well. But I've just had a call from the estate agent. Basically, I've been trying to get hold of him all day. My estate agents have been pretty good. They're the second estate agents that I went with, because the first ones... Hey! The first ones turned out to be, like, so beyond incompetent. But so I've spoken... Hey, come away from the dreamies. So I've spoken to the estate agent just now. Basically, the issue now is that we're hoping to have exchanged... So... I didn't understand what all this meant when I started, but there's 2 like really important dates when selling a house. There's the completion date, which is the date that you're like out and the keys go to the new person. But there is also the exchange date, which happens before the completion date, and it is like an exchange of contracts. So from that point, you basically can't pull out. Hey! Do you want another dreamy? We are hoping that our exchange date will be a week tomorrow, but that our completion date will be about a week later, so that we've got time to move the furniture out next Saturday and then still, still come back to the flat to do some last cleaning bits and stuff like that. Okay. Here you go, Eliza. Good girl. Before we complete. But basically, before we can exchange, ow, Eponine, stop scratching. Stop, be gentle. Oh my god, she'll never learn. So before we can exchange, because I have a Help to Buy loan on this flat, my solicitor needs to get like a certificate from Help to Buy to say that they're like happy with everything. I don't really know the ins and outs, but basically there's some paperwork. We need to get something from Help to Buy. Before we can get that, my solicitor needs to fill in some paperwork. She can't fill in that paperwork until me and the buyer have agreed on a date for completion, but we need that paperwork in order to exchange. A bit of a weird one, because I think I assumed that we'd exchange first and then decide on a completion date, but it seems like we have to agree on a completion date before we can physically exchange. And the last time I had to deal with Help to Buy, it was an absolute joke. They ignored 16 of my emails, spaced over 8 weeks, and then when I called them and said, excuse me, you're supposed to have replied within 5 working days, but it's been 8 weeks and you've ignored all my emails, they looked at my file and went, oh yeah, we can see that we have ignored all of your emails. Anyway, I can do that for you right now. And I was like, what? But so I don't hold out much hope that Help to Buy will do their bit particularly quickly. So I really do need to get that completion date as soon as possible. But like, I don't have direct contact with the buyer. Everything has to go through the estate agent and the solicitors. So my solicitor's chased his solicitor, and the estate agent has chased him. But it's so hard because like, I never really know what the hold up is. I don't know whether the hold up is that he is busy or whether it's that the solicitor hasn't given him the information. It's such an uncertain process, and as someone who really struggles to do anything until like crunch time, like I've always been like it. I just realised I'm really slouching because my camera's so low. Even when I was at school, like I would really struggle to revise for an exam until the day before or like the week before, or I would really struggle to like force myself to learn my lines for a show until like 2 weeks before, when like the director was screaming at me. Or like coursework, I'd never write my coursework until the very last minute. Like I've always been like it, there's like a mental block in my brain, so I'm finding it really hard to finish stuff off even though I know it's going to come around really quickly, because I don't have a date. I don't know when. And the thing is, like, I know it's going to be within the next couple of weeks. Like, I do really need to get on with it. Hello, Eliza, sniffing around the dreamies again. I just want to get that date sorted. That's like where we're at now. What do you think? Are you excited to move? I'm actually quite worried about moving them. I hope they're going to be okay. We're staying at my mum's for a few days in between. They're quite good in the car. We've had them in the car quite a lot since we got them, because when we go and stay with my mum or with Charlie's family, we bring them with us. And also like when we were doing viewings on the flat, I would always put the cats in the carrier and put the carrier in the car and just like drive around till the viewings were done. So like they are very used to the car. It's not really like the journey that I'm worried about. I'm just worried about them feeling settled in, and when they seem unsettled I get sad. So hopefully it will all be fine. But yeah, that is where we're at right now. I've made a lot of progress over the last few days, but it also, every time I make any progress and I go, whoa, I've done loads, I then sort of look around myself and go, yep, and that takes you like a whole day and there's still so much to do. So it really is crunch time. I've cancelled basically all my plans, apart from like one work event next week that I really have to go to. And I'm on a bit of a rotation of like using all the daylight hours to film stuff, to do declutters, to like film these vlogs and stuff, and then in the evenings I'm like doing all my editing and my campaigns. And so I'm absolutely exhausted. I feel like I need a really early night, but I don't think that's going to happen until the move has happened. I think once we have actually moved, I'm gonna set myself a week. It might not be straight away, but like a week that I can look forward to, where I actually say to everyone like, I'm not available. I'm not available that week for anything except sitting on the sofa. Like, that is it, because I really feel like that's my need. But yeah, okay, well, thank you for watching this vlog. We are several steps closer to the move. I feel like these are just going to get progressively more chaotic as time goes on now, aren't they? Okay, well, I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.